Listen, black women,
Oh my
we are
God.
the best place to be.
Today, I just want you to come and take a ride with me. I'll be speaking with LeRen Jones, the makeup artist here in the Hampton Roads area. Come on, take a ride. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey. So look, everybody. We are here on a Saturday, taking in some good sun rays and great conversation. You know, we out here in the neighborhood and people are outside speaking and talking, and that's a beautiful thing, to be honest. I'm here with my girl LeRen, and we're gonna do a little speed date, okay, LeRen? You all right? You with that?
I'm with that.
Okay, where did the name LeRen come from?
So, LeRen, I was named by my father.
Okay.
And LeRen, wow, and we on. Wow!
LeRen, you gotta put your seatbelt on.
Okay.
Cause we gotta travel right, okay? And look at you. Wait a minute, y'all. Like, we over here sightseeing, and she over here like, oh wow, okay. She taking me on a tour. So okay, I'll turn this way.
So
What did it say, LeRen?
It says LeRen.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. We on LeRen Street. Is how crazy is that?
That's crazy.
Okay, so your father named you.
My father named me, and LeRen means the queen.
Oh, yes, you are.
Yep, so that's where it comes from.
Wow. Okay. So first of all, can you tell us your age? You know, how old you are?
I am 21.
Oh my God, the big 2-1. Wow. Girl, you got a whole life ahead of you.
Don't mind.
Girl. But hey, look, embrace every single moment. So look, tell me this. What is one of your character ahs? Not flaw, but an ah, because it may not be someone else's cup of tea, but with the right combination, it could be an awesome thing.
Okay, so I would say one of my character ahs, I have a couple.
Okay, yeah, we all do. Okay.
One of my character ahs is I'm honest. I'm very honest.
Are you brutally honest or are you honest?
I am honest.
Oh,
So
that's
I
good.
leave it up to other people to decide whether it's brutal or not. But I would say that I'm very compassionate in my honesty. So I'm honest.
Which makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
I was getting ready to say it makes a huge difference.
Because I don't want nobody being brutally honest with me. Be respectfully honest. Be compassionately honest. You know.
Oh, that's a good T-shirt.
Yeah.
All right, sir. All right. I wish they would get out the street, y'all. That was being brutally honest. That's a good thing. But what about if it's your family or friends? Like if it's like your best friend, right? Can they be brutally honest with you? Because I think sometimes we need it. Because you know how you just be like, okay, yeah, but I don't think you should do that. But then people turn around and do it because you wasn't. They feel like you didn't.
Straight.
Right. You didn't.
I would say that because we built that relationship, any kind of honesty that they give me, it wouldn't be brutal because I know where it would be coming
Where it's
from.
coming from.
Yeah, but it becomes brutal when I don't know you, but you try to force the truth on me, even if it's the truth.
Right.
You're forcing it on me, and
you don't know me that well.
Yeah, allow me to accept that truth.
Right.
But yeah, I would say another character for me is, if need be, I can overpower a conversation.
Really?
I can.
Now here we have this quiet-spoken young lady, so to speak. But you can overpower a conversation?
If need be.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I pride myself in how I communicate very well. And when it comes down to being under pressure, I know what to do. I know how to spearhead it.
Wow, that's a great thing. Okay, did you have another? Did you say 2 or 3?
Okay, so another character, you said it may not be other people's cup of tea, but it's mine.
Right.
I'm black.
Black as in the
black.
color black, or black as in
Black
your
skin.
culture?
My skin, my culture. I'm black. I'm dark skinned. It's the best place to be. Yes,
when I say it's the best place to be,
listen, black women.
oh my
we
God,
are the best place to be.
I mean, it's just like so many great things about us. We're like go-getters with most of us, okay? I know, we can't group everybody, but I think we were born to win, born to survive, born to multitask. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. And we're born to thrive. I don't think that we should just focus on, survival. I think for so long we focus on survival.
Just survive.
But nobody thrives like a black woman.
Nope.
When we allow ourselves to.
Look, we be so under pressure, but we come out there and we thrive it. And I think that's just something that's an innate ability of ours to just thrive. And I think that's what the world looks at. And I think that can be intimidating to people of other races, other cultures, because they may not understand or know us, or they think that because that's the thing. They think that African American women are just too much.
Angry, opinionated,
right.
loud.
But part of that is because we're not heard. Like in corporate America, most of the time, if a black person is in a boardroom and they speak up and they say something, they're like, yeah. And the crazy thing about it, LeRen, because I wanted, that is your name, LeRen. So, my daughter was talking about school, the first week of school, and how it was 2 white girls that they put her in a group with in her English class, and every time she offered an opinion, gave her input, they laughed at it or was like, and talked over her. And to myself, and what I said to her is like, I'm glad that you are able to experience that. And the reason why I say that is because when I talk to you about being black, like when I used to talk to my son about being a black boy, and you hanging out with your friends at the mall or anywhere, and y'all are fighting, to other cultures, it may look offensive. It may look like, oh my God, something is going off. And even though that you were playing, even as a little black boy, you can't play like everybody else. You got to pick and choose where you play. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that she was able to experience that, because I need her to know that you need what people can't take from you. They can take a whole lot of things from you, but they can't take your knowledge, your wealth of knowledge from you, your self-esteem. You control that. Don't allow them to control it. Wow.
You said they can't take your identity. You are who you are. That is a cheat code to life. Knowing who you are. When you know who you are, can't no devil in hell.
Right, like they say in the church, can't no devil in hell
try to tell you who you are. Somebody will try to tell you who you are, and you'll get to a place in yourself where you can laugh. Because you know who you are. Having an accurate sense of self is a cheat code, especially as black people.
I am here with LeRen Jones. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I'm super excited that you had a moment to share with me. And everybody, we are going to talk about, first of all, as you can see, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And look at me, okay? She did my face. She did my face today. So she is a makeup artist. And I am so elated to have the opportunity to talk to you all things color and then all things colorism. So, I know that in definitely our culture that we have an issue with shades, many shades. Like the darker the skin, sometimes definitely back then and definitely now, there has been a sense of entitlement or a difference of treatment of people of darker color. And it happens in our own race. And so what we're talking about is colorism. So have you experienced anything of that nature, being that you are a beautiful woman of color?
Absolutely. Definitely have. I would say
I remember even as young as third grade, second or third grade, you know, hearing certain things while being at recess or in the classroom. Definitely, I have.
And so how did it make you feel, or what were some of the comments that they basically said?
Oh, you are pretty for a dark-skinned girl. That was their favorite one. Or I even had some kids say, you know, don't play in the sun for too long. You need to come in the shade, you know, or you're going to get black. Or even just, you know, I had my crushes when I was younger. They would say things like, you know, I don't really date dark-skinned girls, or you're the first dark-skinned girl I've dated, you know.
Wow.
So definitely. Yeah.
I can say one of my girlfriends that I was in college with, we talked about, we was in the psychology class, and the professor was talking about how within every race, most races, that there is that same stigma or the same thought that the lighter you are, the better you should be treated, or the better treatment you should have, or the better things you should have, or you feel a sense of entitlement. But, and she had a grandmother who made a difference between her and her cousin and her siblings, like, because she was the darkest one in her family. So therefore, like you said, the grandmothers, and I think it was something that was taught to them because they were back there during the slavery time and all of that. But they will talk about, come inside. Yeah. You don't want to get too dark. Like, and they didn't, I don't think they meant anything by it, because I think they knew that the darker you are, the worse treatment you would receive. But
it all goes back to survival. If it's constantly being reinforced in my community and the people who look like me, that the closer you are to whiteness, the safer you will be.
Wow.
The more prosperous you will be, the more accepted, the more human you'll be regarded. If it's always reinforced that the closer I am to whiteness, the safer I am, then I'm going to teach that to my children, not because I want to, but because I need my babies to survive. You know, but oftentimes that takes survival, or that takes the opportunity to thrive away from darker skinned women like us. Like, it definitely becomes hard, but it's about survival.
And like you just said, it's about survival, but then if it's constantly drilled in you by your family, by your race, what does that do to your self-esteem? Like, you know what I mean? What does that do to your self-esteem?
I can honestly say that I have not experienced from my family any overt ways of colorism, but I'll even say me being a bigger girl in my family, definitely, girl, that gut poking out, you might want to, you know, or look at her thighs or stuff like that. And they would say it in an endearing way, but it definitely can drive the point home. And a lot of times I'll even say, in my family and in just the world, I'm oftentimes the youngest, the biggest, and the darkest.
And so what does that...
Oh my God, it is such a claustrophobic space to be in, because there's nobody else in a lot of the spaces I move. There aren't a lot of people like me, you know, even in my family. I look like my mom, but I don't look like anybody else, you know, so, or my dad. But it's definitely, it'll make you feel ostracized. It'll make you feel isolated.
So how have you dealt with that? So what is your go-to? Because you know how sometimes when you, because I know some people would hate to show up somewhere late because they don't want to walk in and have all eyes on them. So they will make it a point to make sure that they go early so that they don't have to walk through the crowd, things of that nature. So what is your go-to when you know that you're about to enter into a crowd that may or may not accept you? Like, is it something that you be like, okay, do you pump yourself up? Is there a particular song that you do? What is it that you do?
Go to the back, sit in the back. Sit the furthest away, you know, from everybody.
Now or then?
Then.
Okay.
I would say that I'm learning more that even if I'm not accepted wherever I go, I'm accepted wherever I go. If the room accepts me, then you should as well. But definitely growing up, coming into myself, I'll say more my adolescent years, maybe 12 to 16. Definitely, you sit in the back of the classroom, you sit in the back of the church, you know, because you don't want people making comments, or you don't want people looking at you funny. Even hearing the words, and it's weird, even hearing the word pretty triggered me. Because
really?
Yeah, because it was always something that would follow after that. You're pretty for a dark-skinned girl. You're pretty for a big girl. I didn't even want to hear the compliment. So just sit in the back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you feel pretty from the inside out? Because it's a process. Even for the prettiest of that we deem as pretty, struggle.
Yeah. So I'll say I have a very distinct memory. My junior year of high school, I was headed somewhere, so I was getting myself dressed. But I remember looking in the mirror after school, and I just started saying, and this was before I knew what affirmations meant or what it was, before it became trendy.
Right.
But I just started saying, I am beautiful, I am lovely, I am amazing just as I am. And I would say, I am I, because God is He, and He is within me.
Say that again.
I am I, because God is He, and He is within me.
Wow, that's great.
And like I said, this was before I knew anything about affirmations. So I know that was a God-given thing that He gave me. But just looking in that mirror, I began to see myself in a totally different light.
So when did you really find your voice?
I'm just now finding my voice.
Ooh.
Just now. I could say that 2022 has definitely been a year of exposure for me. It's definitely, even in my business, it's definitely been a year of LeRen finding her footing. I've always felt the need to hide behind, because I come from a family of pastors and evangelists and prophets, and, they go forth. They are, even my mother, one of the best event planners I know. She has a book out, Receive Your Flowers. But she is always, but I've always seen women.
Yes. You've always seen women.
Okay.
Yes.
I've always seen women so active. The women in my family are so active. So much so that I felt like I can't do this. I can't do any of what they're doing. But this year I have definitely been more challenged and more encouraged to just step out and to find my own self, to literally know what my voice sounds like.
Right.
Because for a while, you never listen to yourself speak.
See?
But I'm just now figuring out what my voice sound like, what I look like in the mirror, who I want to be, and how I want to show up in the world. That's mine now.
Wow.
So I can definitely say,
you took ownership. You took ownership. So this is the last question for right now. So the makeup world. How do you think the makeup industry has evolved to embrace our culture?
It definitely has taken strides to let us in, to let us in the rooms. I'll say that with the height of social media, YouTube, it got to a point where you have to listen to the Black women who are saying, not just for other Black women, but for women of color, to the Black women who are saying, we need foundations that match our shade.
Right.
We need things that work for our skin and our hair. It's definitely, and I will have to credit to someone, her name is Jackie Aina. She has definitely, Rihanna, they have definitely done what they need to do to bring in the room darker skinned girls like me, not just in my culture, but in so many other cultures. Fenty does really well with matching undertones, and I know that for non-Black people of color, that is important.
It is.
So for us, for Black-owned companies, we'll have our foundation shade, but it may not match the undertone for other people of color. We have Black women who are advocating for that now, and we have to be heard due to the rise of social media.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. LeRen, I thank you so much. You're beautiful inside and out. Doesn't matter the shade, any shade. You're so beautiful. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. We hit on a lot of great subjects, such as what it does to a person's self-esteem when within their own culture they may or may not be accepted just because of the color of their skin. And we also talked about the makeup world and how it has embraced women of color. So thanks again for watching Ride Along Conversation. Thanks for watching another episode of Ride Along Conversations. For more of these types of episodes, you can click here or here. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again. Come on and take a ride.